Hey guys, all right, so the time has come. We are ready. All of our rockets are filled and ready to come up and drop off stuff. So let's go ahead and get this done. We're gonna basically bring up several rockets. We're gonna, have to unload the pads manually. As far as the physical materials go, the fluids should be set up and working. The physical materials we're going to have to move ourselves because we still have to set up the warehouse. The warehouse system for it and what have you. But yeah, I think we're good. All right, so here we go. Let's see. So first, we go to Novice, and down here in Novice we have our liquid rocket, which it's got some other stuff in it. Oh yeah, by the way, before we do that, let's do this. So, we are out of suns, right? All of these are named. We want to see what happens when we go to our next one. So let's go ahead and launch this rocket and see what happens once we're out of names. Does it find other suns? Does it what? So let's go ahead and launch this. New satellite was launched, but not find anything new. There may be more to find around other stars. Okay, so apparently we don't get anything else. We do get an astronomic science pack, but we're out of suns to find. So we're just going to get the blue science each time from there on out. So we'll let that build another one, but we may not launch it for a while. We may be done launching from here. We may have to go other places, who knows. Alright, so that's done. Now we know what happens. Alright, so now we are on to our liquid rocket. And our liquid rocket is going to Perma 1, fluid landing pad number 1, because it's the only one we got hooked up. Now there are some physical items in here. We're going to have to take those out by hand. We know that. But we don't care about that. So let's go ahead and launch this one. Oh, and then this one is full and ready to go. And this one is going to Perma 1's raw material landing pad number 1. And we got one more pad up there that we have available that we're gonna send to. We actually have two pads available. Because we can use the other liquid pad, it just won't go to a liquid pad. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and set that up as well. So, do we do Vionet, which has rods? That's going to material landing pad 2. It's already set up. Let's see. So that leaves us. So Vionet's going to pad 2. Alaz is supposed to be going to pad 2. Maybe we'll send that one to liquid pad 2. Fluid landing pad 2. Alright, we'll send that one there. That leaves us with Sanctimonium, which is loaded up with our barrel and our aeroframes, our beryllium and our aeroframes, and that's scheduled to go to material landing pad 1, which we're going to have to clear out. So we got 4 rockets coming up, guys. We're going to start with the 2 on Novice, and then we're going to do the 2 on Novice, then we're going to go to Vionet, then we're going to go to Alaz. And then last we'll have to go back to Sanctonium. Alright, so let's view Novice. And we'll see if we can't get this all launched one right after the other, and see if we can't get them to all go into the pads. That should be kind of interesting. So it's the 2 Novice. So we got 2 Novice, Vianet, and Nilaus. Okay? And I think we're set up here at Vianet. Let's make sure again. Vianet is material landing pad 2. Okay? And Nilaus is fluid landing pad 2. So those are both going to pad 2. And then Novice is going to pad 1 fluid and pad 1 material. So we should be all set up. Let's go ahead and launch all of these and see what happens. Who knows? You know what? Before we do that, let's do this. Just to be safe. Because if this, kills the game or blows something up, we want to be able to restart it. We're not going to go through all of this again. We're not going to, So here we go. All right. So, launch. Launch. Fluid 2. All right. So everybody got there. Looks like everybody made it. That was kind of neat. All right. So now, it will of course take care of all of our ship parts for us. Those will come out. We want to grab all of this stuff out of here. That is not fluids, and we'll go ahead and put it in our storage over here. So that's all going to go there. That's going to go there for now, which will allow them to start building, to start finishing out our solar panels. That should be that. Now let's go check these guys out, make sure they're working right. Alright, so that should have taken all of that stuff out, and it'll take it out of all of them. Yes, that worked out right. This is all our fluids, and it should start pulling our fluids off and putting them into our systems, which I think the only thing we shipped is water, so yeah, this is all water. And then this one should be heavy oil, lubricant, mostly heavy oil and lubricant, and then our petroleum gas, right? So it's going to start filling those. So that's good to go. This one is nothing shipped in that is liquid. So this is going to be our holmium plate and our vulcanite. And then this one is going to be our odds and ends stuff. Right, this is going to be our odds and ends. We're shipped coal up because we need coal for those lenses. And then this one is going to be our cryonite rods. And then whatever little bit of junk this stuff here is. Alright, so now, because we don't have our warehouse system set up yet, but we did just bring up warehouses. Let's grab our passive provider warehouses, all 10 of them. Actually, let's get all 24 of them that we've got. And we're just going to set them up. We're not going to set up all of our stuff yet. We're just going to get these guys put down so that we can empty those pads, right? Because we want to be able to get those pads emptied. Put this one over here to hold our junk. We're going to take this. We're going to take a thing of canisters. And I don't know. I don't believe there is any more. No, I didn't think so. All right. So, let's get these suckers emptied. And we're just going to dump it in the warehouses. Now, of course, that's going to immediately start stealing vulcanite because we're still trying to fill those tanks up. And that's fine. We'll have to go up there at some point and steal ourselves some rocket fuel. In order to have rocket fuel for our jetpack. And the plan is ultimately to automate this so that this is going to put it into warehouses. So that's the plan. That's what's going to eventually happen. For right now, we're just going to do what we're doing. And I may pull those provider chests, since we're going to go with a warehouse system, and somehow belt it over and sort it in some kind of way of sorting it and what have you, and belt it to the warehouses as opposed to putting it in the provider chests. Because if I put it in the provider chest and then we start a damn, a loop again, then that becomes an issue that we don't want. All right, should have one more pad. Now this one, we want to get that stuff separated out of it that we don't want. Did we grab the wrong thing? I think we grabbed the wrong thing. I think we grabbed that. That's what I thought. Okay. So now, this should all just be cryonite rods at this point. There we go. And now, let us check. Alright, so that provider chest is empty. That provider chest is empty. That provider chest is empty. So we got all our rocket parts at that point, it looks like. Yep, we've got all our rocket parts. They should have gone into here. And we are good to go. And then there's all our capsules waiting to go back down the well. Now, how are we doing down here on our fluids? We're still processing water, and we're going to be processing water for a while. It looks like everything else that can be processed is processed. So how are we looking? Alright, we got some room there. We will have plenty of room there because that'll process through that. Now, that should have given us materials for these guys to start running again, and they are. So these guys are making our gel, and they're making our cosmic water, which should be filling up our gel tanks and our cosmic water tanks. And then the lube and the water won't stop filling until we've got these guys full. So there we go. And then that should be, yep, snagging up all our tanks, which we can send back down the gravity well to Navas to fill back up. Now, we are probably not going to right away get this all set up. We've got it up here. We're going to start looking at it, start planning it out, stuff like that. But it is all up here. Now we can use this to start building some of the objects that we need to make. So we can make, you know, we gotta make the spectral mirrors so that we can make our telescopes. And the spectral mirrors is what our next project's going to be, and that's going to be made in the space manufacturing. And we're going to start making a bunch of spectral mirrors, and then from there we can start making these puppies. That's why I brought the coal up. These blank observation frames require coal. Now, I don't know. It's 1, 2, 3, and 10. 1, 2, 3, and 10. The only difference here and here, well, actually, two differences. One is it's steel as opposed to beryllium, but the other one is this gives me 10 frames, this gives me 5 frames. So this is well worth doing the beryllium instead of the steel. Oh, and we have, speaking of which, we should have, not here, not here. Here, though, we should have a rocket to come up. And we're going to have that go to landing pad 1. And that should be it. So we should have another rocket coming to landing pad 1 for material handling pad. Should see it come in. There's the shadow. There it is. It made it okay. Awesome. So let's take that, put that in a warehouse. trip, I think. Maybe 2. There it is. Now let's go up here. We're going to turn that off for a second because we're going to snag some of this up. We want to snag a couple of stacks for ourselves. There we go. And that's filling up nicely. So now we've got everything we need to be able to build the stuff we want to build, right? And eventually we will get these all sorted out. And like I say, I think we're going to put them up in this area. And we're going to start ourselves a little warehouse section, probably a couple of rows. And we're going to get each of these filled up with the necessary materials. So we're doing a lot of shipping up here, but I think we're gonna do a warehouse of each. Is what I'm kind of thinking. But we got everything here. We got all our bots here. We got all our materials here. Everything is in provider warehouses. There's no plain warehouses except for this one, which is just our rocket parts for our return trips. And I don't think we have to worry about that. I think we are going to take those guys and take them with us when we go down. And I think we're going to take that one with us when we go down. I don't know that there's anything else really we need to take down with us. That stuff we just brought up, so that shouldn't be anything. Maybe we want to take the rest of those to actually, we want to take that whole thing and pick it up, because that is all of the other stuff. Right? There we go. Alright, so let's take a look, make sure there's nothing we want to take back down the well with us. Because if there is, we can load it in the rocket now. We're going to leave the sulfur up here. We may need it at some point. We're going to leave the raw materials up here. We may need them at some point. I know we're going to need the barrels when we start getting back into science. We're probably going to have to ship some barrels up here, which, you know, whatever. We'll deal with it. What we may do is if we got to ship barrels up, we may ship them up full and empty them out. You know, we may set up a second fluid handling factory to add into each of these or something with barrels. You know, just an auxiliary station, as it were, that handles barrels, so that we can, because if we're going to ship barrels up here, we might as well ship something in them. There's no sense using the space and not shipping something in them. So at some point maybe we'll do that. We'll set up a secondary or an auxiliary handling station that all of the barrels will go to, and they'll be dealt with. So we'll see. But anyway, there's that. So I think at this point I've got a little bit of dressing up left to do up here, and this and that and the other, to make sure everything is ready. And then we're going to go back down to Novice, because I think what we're going to do next is we're going to do our nuke plants on our different planets. And I want to do that in person. I want to go ahead and go to each of the planets and set them up in person, just so that I know that they're right and they're functioning. In addition to that, it'll allow me to go around and do an on-the-ground inspection on all my places, And while I'm at Navis, one of the things that I want to do while we're down there is, if you look, our production is sporadic because we're not getting crude oil in. But when I set up all of these are all interconnected. These flamers, right? The flamethrower turrets are all interconnected. Where they're not connected, they're connected by pipe. But where they come from, let me see if I find one that is hooked up. Where they come from the pump jacks, I have it splitting off, and I have a pump pushing fluids in both directions. I think I'm going to change that. I think I'm going to have a single pump pushing into the system, and I'm going to have this hooked up as one continuous loop. And every one of these is going to be pushing into the system, as opposed to what I have it set up now. And that, I'm hoping, will allow me to have all of this oil, when it's not going to the fence, be going up to my plant, because I'm in need of crude oil. It is impacting my ability to produce plastic and things like that, and mostly that has to do with the fact that I was just shipping fluids up. But we want to work on that, and we want to improve it. So I'm going to go down and do that on Navis. I'm also going to go down and kill biters, because I turned off biter expansion. There were no biters here. I killed them all. Now we have biters back. I don't know. Maybe the space exploration mod overrides that. I don't know. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to turn expansion off again to make. And I did it through the command line. But I'm going to do it again just to make sure. And then we're going to go kill biters. And if they keep coming back into these areas where I've already cleared them, and they shouldn't be, because if expansion's turned off, they shouldn't be, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to go out and we're going to clear and wall. So if we do that, we're looking at here first. I'm thinking across here, up here, up here, up here, across here, and down, right? And take this piece of territory, and we're going to work our way over. I figure if I block it here, I block it here, I block it here, I block it here, and I block it here, that's that. If I block it here, 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 and here, that's that. And then we can empty this entire area of biters. And then we can go down this way or up this way and empty in another entire sector. And eventually we can clear this entire planet of biters. Now, I know that there is research later that you can do the plague thing and kill everything. I'm going to go blow some biters up. But that's something I'll probably do off camera. I won't, it'll take me a while to do it, and I'll do the expansion, but I'm just going to do it off camera. But this pisses me off, because I turned this off, and I told you guys I turned it off, and I did it specifically because I was tired of dealing with these guys. It's just a pain in the ass. At this point, they're a non-issue. They're a nuisance more than they are anything else. But if they're going to keep coming back, we're going to take care of them, and be done with them once and for all. And the fact is, we can start doing that. We've got 37 nuke shells at this point. We just need to bring over more uranium. To matter of fact, let us do just that. Let's see. Is that a provider chest? It's not a provider chest. Shit, those aren't provider chests. Whoa! Alright, we definitely have to go to novice because there's another issue going on here. Why do we have no fuel? We have no fuel because we are out of... how in the hell did that end up in there? The hell? Alright, yeah, we gotta go to novice. We got fuel where we shouldn't have fuel. Some reason we have fuel in our warehouses that we shouldn't have fuel. So we're going to need to change this to a regular warehouse as opposed to a storage warehouse. For some reason it's got stuff in it. This needs to be changed. So yeah, we're going to go down to novice and we're going to fix some things and straighten some things out. Because guys, we're almost out of fuel down here. I mean, we've got some. We've got enough to get there. Come on, save. But we're going to go down and rectify this problem. Because this should not be the way this is. Actually, 40, 40, 40. That should be 40. 40. 40, 40, 40, 40, and 40. All right, so we have enough fuel there for a little while, but it's a damn good thing we went and looked at that. We got to fix this. That's not right. And then we're going to do the rounds and build our nuclear power plants at our other bases. And then we start on this puppy. Now, why? Oh, I know why. Okay. Let's go over here and register the fact that it put them in. Because I'm sure it put them in. It just... we're not seeing it on the map because we haven't gone across it yet. Because we have no radars. We don't have any radars anywhere because of the fact that we've been doing the navigation thing. And the navigation thing lets you see the ground. So why put in radars? I don't know, it's a waste of materials, right? So there we go. Now it's there. Now we don't have to worry about it. And these guys are still working away. Alright, so we got all our rods and all our fluid up here, which is what we were after. We've got our... we got all our cryonite rods and we got all our fluids, and we got all our other stuff. We're burning through the vulcanite, but that's okay because we'll replace the vulcanite. This was going to be the biggie. This is going to get us what we need with our with building our telescopes, and our telescopes are going to get us towards our sciencey stuff. Because now we can start doing these cards and things like that. And these cards need those observation observation frames to do the cards. And then that is going to give us our catalogs, and our catalogs are going to give us our blue science. So these are material insights that we've got to start working on. Which I think, yeah, see, astronomical insights will be astronomical catalogs, will give us astronomical insights, and we need astronomical catalogs. We need significant data, and each of these produces significant data, but it's produced a different way. So this will give us our astronomic insights, which gives us our significant data, and then we got our astronomic catalog, all of which will combine with the fluids and what have you, and we can start having our freaking blue science finally. Not that there's a whole lot of just blue science to be researched, but it is a start down the row, and then we can start doing our other sciences. But we'll be back on the science path, guys. That's the big part of it. So there we go. So let me go get my planets set up and get them functioning, and we can get back up here and we can concentrate on science. Long-winded way to say, yeah, what I wanted to say. But anyway, there we go. I will talk to you guys later. Short video, I know, but wanted to get this started. Before I went back down to Navis, I wanted to get that stuff launched. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.